Welcome back. Shares of South Africa's giant conglomerate Bidvest are in the red after it released interim results. Bidvest cuts across cleaning, banking, logistics, food services and even stationery. It has grown through acquisitions and now has operations across 5 continents. The company reported headline earnings per share rising by more than 5% in the 6 months ended in December. But its acquisition of South African pharmaceutical company Adcock Ingram weighed on profitability. After initially purchasing 34.5% of the company, Bidvest has now reached a threshold where it has to offer to buy out the remaining shares. But CEO Brian Joffe says they do not want 100%. Bidvest is growing while the profitability of many companies is declining. But in an interview with Francis Hurd earlier today, Joffe said they could have done better.
Swimming a little bit against the tide, I guess. Look, it's a tale of maybe 3 factors. I mean, our overseas businesses performed particularly well, and that was assisted by the exchange rate changes, and so that's helped a bit. South Africa is obviously the market is a bit more difficult. We still have the remnants of industrial action of the past. We also have the issues, for example, simple examples, the post office. Now, we're very big in distributing advertising material for retailers, but during that period of these 3 months that the strike was on, we never distributed anything, so we ended up making losses. So that's the thing. But I think the thing that probably impacted us most was the mark-to-market of share portfolio, mainly in our insurance business. So the gain differences were completely different 2013 versus 2014. That represented approximately 3 or 4 percentage points in difference in percentage gain year on year. Adcock was also negative to the extent of 3 percentage points, so that's another 3 percentage points. But if you have a look at the trading on its own, we were up 17% in trading. So from that point of view, one can be really satisfied. But from an overall point of view, obviously, I think a little bit disappointing for me.
Explain Adcock, because last time we were talking, you basically admitted that you made a mistake in terms of the valuation of Adcock Ingram. Now, so then you had brought up 34.5%, and now you're going up seemingly because of a technicality. Do you want Adcock, or is this a very reluctant offer to other shareholders?
Well, I think the reality is that we're not going to get the whole of Adcock. I think that the PIC is certainly, in my estimation, is not likely to sell to us. And there's probably unlikely many other shareholders will sell to us in big numbers because the share price is higher than the offer price. And our offer really resulted out of a cleanup of Adcock in relation to its BEE structure. And so, I mean, that's been documented, and so there's no real point in me going through that right now.
So it is just a technicality. Are you very reluctantly trying to buy up Adcock?
I think that what we would like to do is to be able to express and to have a larger influence on the company's activities going forward. So we'd like to see a larger percentage holding. But I think one needs to be as I said, be realistic about what the potential is to get there. And there have been some green shoots that have emerged in relation to the trading activities, but there's still quite a long way to go with regard to overcapacity in the factories, underperforming investments in India and Africa. So there's quite a lot of work that still needs to be done in that company. And so from a Bidvest point of view, we just have to play it day by day, I guess.
I guess my question is, do you have any hope for the future of Adcock, or will you keep this very reluctantly in the fold because you have to?
I don't think that we want to do anything reluctantly. I think that time will tell as to whether the company is robust enough in order for it to continue to grow and to earn a return. If it is, and that possibility exists, then of course, then we'd like to keep it. My immediate feeling on it is that in the medium term, I think that things will improve. The real big question is at what rate. Remember, this is a regulated market, and so to some degree, the ability for Adcock to just continue to grow and to do whatever it wants to do is limited by some regulations. So it's a bit of an unknown. But as I said, in the medium term, all things going according to plan, I guess that Adcock could be a better business than it is today.